Hello and welcome to our February edition of, well, working with me, Serena Dot Ryan. This live stream is all about better budgets for business and for life. I love the opportunity to be able to share the knowledge I have to be able to help you to do the best you possibly can with what you've got access to. An extra special welcome this month. We are also live streaming on Facebook. If you are joining us on Facebook, welcome. And you can comment below the video on Facebook and I'll get back to you after the live stream. If you want to interact in real time, join us in the chat on YouTube. Serena Dot Ryan is the channel name. It's YouTube/@Serena.Ryan. Come on over, subscribe to the channel, and you'll be able to chat in live, basically, and get your answers straight away to any questions you may have. I hate you wasting your time or money. That's as simple as that. And everything I share here is designed to help you make the most of what you have. Unfortunately, we only have 24 hours in a day. That's not expandable, but the way we spend it makes all the difference. And the incredible Chantel Hills is our live stream producer who joins me here today as well. So come on over. She is amazing. I can say that 'cause I've worked with her for quite some time now and loves a chat. So join us in the chat and you'll be welcomed by her as well. We work together as a great team. I am someone who is always tinkering and playing with digital. You may think that that can be, well, is that the best use of my time? And that's an interesting topic we'll get into today about how we keep up to date with what's available to us. The challenge always is to not spread yourself too thin and also make sure that you are effectively achieving what you want. And that comes down to the point of what exactly do you want, right? How do you define that? I get asked that question quite a bit, and I'm going to dive in and talk about that as well on the live stream. Live streams, while I love to have a chat and share knowledge, again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is that you make the most of your time and energy that you're here as well. Because if you're here joining in, I honor that immensely and want you to also know that I'm wanting to answer your questions. So don't hesitate to jump in, ask a question, specifically around how do you use what's available to you at your fingertips, quite literally, to make the most of your time and money to grow your business. Quite often, I get questions around what's the best social media platform to be on, and should I be doing the email marketing, or should I be on YouTube, or should I be investing in collaborations or working with influencers? All these things can actually come back to what it is you want to be able to achieve cost effectively. And I know I get the cringe sometimes from people going, well, what do you mean you're giving me a straight answer? The reason is the view of where you should be is individual and tailored to you. Now, what I mean by that is whatever your product or service is that you have, that you use and you provide to people, that is specific to what you want to be able to deliver to the world. And there's a particular person or group of people, ideally a significant group of people, that want what you have to offer. So you've got to figure out where they hang out and connect with them there. And that would be my number one tip. If you're just tuning in and you're thinking, what is the best way for you to make the most of your time and money when you're wanting to grow your business? It is worth you investing the time to figure out where your ideal customers are and spend more time with them. And if it's not just about spending more time where they hang out, it's understanding that being able to be the most up to date you possibly can, to be able to deliver as well as you possibly can for them, means that you will actually make it worthwhile where your time and money is being invested. An example, In, well, just over 30 days now, I will be in San Diego. People go, "Why would you invest in going to San Diego?" Well, in San Diego, the 13th to the 15th of March, there is Social Media Marketing World. It's the largest conference of its kind in the world, and it also gives me the opportunity to be up to date on information to be able to help the people that I work with. It also means that I am building connections with people who can assist the best possible way the audience I serve. I look at how where I can be to make the most of my time and energy to build out what I need to make my business the best it possibly can. That knowledge, excitingly, I'll be able to share with you when I'm doing my live streams next month, and also after that when I'm back in April with a full debrief as well. It's about making sure that I'm figuring out where best to be and making the most of my time and money to be there. Now, the process I went through to decide whether that was the best place for me to go was systematically understanding and spending time with my ideal customers. So, something to point out, if you haven't already done so and you're hesitating on where best to be, spend time with your ideal customers, identify who they are, and then look at where their habits are of where they are. And the interesting thing I want to point out as well is, whilst, yes, we'll talk about social media and being online, the more you can spend time looking at where they hang out online and in person, you might find creative ways to have cut through to be able to find people where they hang out. And when you can understand where they are having their daily habits, you also understand the opportunities around those daily habits to be able to be helpful. I would say it's not about when you focus on selling, you've got to focus on how you can serve them the best possible way when you're in contact with them so you can actually help them out the best way you can. Now, I talk about very much from a business focus. Interestingly enough, where I've come from is from a place of being really focused on being intentional on how I spend my day personally. And that's all helped to define what I do for the business and where I am online. There's a significant crossover of where you want to be able to spend your time. I would say you look at your 24 hours that you have in the day. Now, if you listen to sleep experts and people for well-being as well, for your sharpness and alertness is to get that 7 hours sleep a day. So then that immediately takes that out of the equation. You've then got to maximize what you're doing the rest of the time. Prioritizing your sleep is important, then prioritizing where else you want to be. Something I did in last month's live stream with the incredible Chantel Hills joining me there as well is talking about the opportunities that we have to be clear what we want and set those intentions for the year. It was a live stream we did in January, and it's so common to be talking about New Year's resolutions. And having a New Year's resolution, I don't do that. And interestingly enough, neither does Chantel. Setting the intention for the year enables you to have a stronger theme that's consistent for what you want to achieve. What Chantel was talking about is she was basing it on the 4 seasons of the year. And when you do that, you have an opportunity to achieve every 90 days. And I like that because that keeps momentum instead of just having the one. Blending that for me is I'm identifying fun. Now, you might think, hang on a minute, we're talking about budgets here today. How does fun and budgets come together? If you're like me and have had a history of going, oh, it's very serious when we start saying budgets and we start saying spreadsheets. It seems to be not as exciting, a little bit boring. And it's like, oh, I look at a budget and see what is the story behind it. I'm motivated by being able to attain fun and put fun in. My intention for the year is to consistently look at everything I do. And yes, I have specific targets to hit, but those targets are motivated by fun. Understanding that if we hit certain numbers in a budget, then we are able to attain the things we want, such as a holiday or a nice meal or being able to go to a theme park and ride a roller coaster. Yeah, I do that occasionally, even though it's kind of scary but cool. I don't know if you ride roller coasters, but it's kind of a cool thing to do if that's what gets you excited from the point of being motivated. The reason I wanted to set this live stream today around budgeting for life and business is that it's so easy to get caught up in the seriousness. It's so easy to go, oh no, there's a lot out of our control. And at the moment, in Australia, and I know it's common in other countries around the world, such as the US as well, there's these pressures that are outside of our bubble that we work in, such as inflation, such as cost of living rising. And to be able to maintain the fun, I'm seeing as a really cool challenge for me. I know that if I'm not having fun, then that affects my ability to be able to put myself out into the world and to do the work that I do. And I see that I'm not the only one. I want to bring fun into what we do more. So if you're sitting there and you've gone, oh, okay, I am now watching this live stream to understand budgets, and she hasn't actually talked numbers yet or what the quick fix is, I want you to be able to prioritize what is the thing that you are putting into you and your business, whether it's service or product based, that enables fun. Because fun then can be seen, write it down. Fun is something that is interpretive. What you find fun, I might not find fun. But if you have fun motivating you, it's much easier to then look at the numbers that you're looking to go for your business. I am someone who has looked at things consistently differently because, geez, this is getting really personal here, but it's important to point out. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated by having a budget. I'm always motivated by what it is that budget will enable me to have. Because money for the sake of money doesn't get me motivated. And the problem is, if we're not motivated, then it's harder to get there. But if we can see the reason we want it, then we have the opportunity to be motivated to get it. And this is the thing. And there is significant crossover because I'll talk about that with my personal life. I'm always looking for that next holiday because I want to travel, and that motivates me to have an income and also to be able to save to be able to have the holiday. That is what motivates me in my personal life. Now, in the business life, what motivates me is understanding what other business owners are motivated by and what their number is to grow their business. Regularly, I get people coming to me and saying, hey, you can help me, with marketing. Yes, my day job is a marketer. I want to grow my business. I say, well, what is it that you want to achieve by working with me? And they'll go, sales. I'll go, okay, well, how many sales? And they're like, oh, well, more than I have now. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of like saying to an architect, I need a house, or going to a builder and going, I need a house. And they go, well, how big? And it's like, well, bigger than I have now. So, well, how big is the current one? They start to ask more and more questions to get to understand what your view of success looks like. I need to understand a bit more detail about what it is you want to achieve. When I say I want a holiday, my dream holiday is to go to Greece, to be able to see all those places I studied when I was at school, in getting to understand ancient Greece. I've never been. I'd love to see it. And I've also got a family connection there in that my grandfather was there in World War II, and I want to be able to see the places he was posted to and where he basically was able to survive and come home, because if he didn't come home, then I wouldn't be here today. So there's some personal connection, strong connection of why I want to go there. Being able to say that instead of saying a holiday, which is an hour down the coast, which will basically achieve by going in a car as opposed to 24 hours in a plane, have different numbers attached to them. And being able to understand and identify in detail what it is that really motivates me, and then break down the numbers to achieve what I want, makes a massive difference on how I can be motivated for my personal budget. And that relationship that I share there is identical when it comes to looking at a business. Because unless a business can define, they don't need to be able to do marketing, but they need to be able to define their numbers so that I can understand how I can best help them. And when they can give me that view of the numbers, then that's the fun part, because then we can look creatively of where to hang out, where their ideal customers are, online and in person, and help them achieve cost effectively what they want to be able to achieve. You know, the amazing thing is, as I talk about that, it wasn't until I was identifying what motivated me more strongly to achieve budgeting in my personal life that I then saw how important it was for me to have really strong boundaries on being able to help business owners. Because if business owners can identify what it is they really want and not just money for the sake of money, then I can see the vision that they want of success, and then I can cost effectively help them achieve it. I'm curious. What is it that you're motivated to achieve in 2023? I'd love to see your comments either on Facebook. If you're over on Facebook, pop it in the comments, and know that if you want to interact in real time and have a chat, don't hesitate to hop over to YouTube. And on YouTube, you can chat in real time with myself and my amazing live stream producer, Chantel. Being able to interact there is as easy as subscribing to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to comment. Now, if you're on Facebook, it's okay. I will get back to you after the live stream. I'm using this as an opportunity to test out technology as well as share knowledge to help you make the most of where you are online and in person, to have you achieve what you really want. Now, I know that can sound a bit out there, but it's entirely reasonable and realistic. I am going to Social Media Marketing World next month. And part of the reason I go there is to be able to see and hear from people who are also testing and learning and playing with technology to make the most of what they have. And doing that is this really cool opportunity to see people in person. We can feel like we always have to be online, and your day-to-day life is not always online. It gives you this opportunity to have different conversations and different ways of being able to interact with people who can help collectively your knowledge grow. I've learned from being in the social media and digital space for over 20 years now that we're never always on top of everything, and we're never always the ones who are the knowledge keepers of all. You have to, and I'm saying this to me as well as you, be in a constant space of learning. The balance is to not be in overwhelm. So to not be in overwhelm, it is important to prioritize where you are and where you get your knowledge from, and to surround yourself with people who can help you with your knowledge. The biggest thing I find when I'm talking about I'm currently testing across Facebook and YouTube is knowing that I'm curious by nature. Next month in San Diego, there's a number of speakers who'll be speaking on YouTube. I've been fascinated in testing out YouTube myself and getting my hands dirty on it by doing live streams like this. There is this cool thing, like part of what I do is not just talking to you about whether you do ads or not. It's about understanding where you can be cost effectively in multiple channels. Now, if you're spreading yourself too thin when you've got only limited resources, you're a small business, you've got less than 20 employees, and everyone in their role is stretched. When you add in not just doing the social media, but learning about it, you've got to think about the priorities of where to be and what you're doing. It's not easy to keep up to date, which is why I work really hard to keep myself up to date as much as I can on these resources that we have available. There are a lot of social media platforms to be on. The crossover between YouTube and Facebook is that YouTube is owned by Google, and search engine optimization, which is understanding how to rank well on Google, is at the heart of YouTube and also at the heart of Google. And the cool thing is that through things like this live stream and the ability to interact and comment is a hybrid mix of understanding search engine optimization and Google and also social media. And it's why I'm curious and testing and playing in this space as well. I get to see real time by testing it out myself how we can make the most of our time and energy to get good ranking and visibility on social media and also on Google. And in this past week, I got asked, well, when I type in Serena Ryan, you don't come up. I said, well, I learned very early on, and 8.5 years ago when I started my business, there were quite a few Serena Ryans out there. So I started to think differently about how well I could rank on social and digital and stand out. My middle name is Dorothy, hence the dot. And there's only one of me, Serena Dot Ryan. And I went out and systematically made a point of Serena Dot Ryan being visible and being a key business channel for me. So when you're looking for me for business, you look for Serena Dot Ryan. So if you Google Serena Dot Ryan, you will see me. And that is the difference between understanding and not understanding how well we do in our search engine optimization. It's not as simple as, well, going, okay, well, this is my name and that's how I'm going to rank. It's got an understanding of how do you want to make the most of what you have available to you cost effectively. Because when I see the market or the listing of Serena Ryan saturated, I go, well, it's going to take me a lot of time and energy to rank for Serena Ryan. Or I can put my energy into ranking for Serena Dot Ryan and know that I can say the dot is, hey, me, my middle name, but I can also say my middle name is digital. And there is often a crossover and a mix on that too. Getting better at that is, I would say, take that as an action item from this channel today. If you feel like you're not ranking well on SEO, that's the start of it, is understanding how to secure your name and where it is visible. And it's not always about being cookie cutter on how you do things. You've got to adapt it to what you want to be known for, and then make sure, for example, I also know I do rank well for Serena Ryan author, because I have published a book as a co-author and people can search me that way. So it's not hard and fast. You can look me up as Serena Dot Ryan or Serena Ryan author. And the process of that is being able to let people know what to type to find you online, because through word of mouth, they will also be the people who will help you get found as well. Don't always assume that people got to find you completely cold, because that's actually not usually how Google works. Someone gets prompted and then they type something in. So they either have a problem or they've heard about you. There's some reason why they're typing in what they want to type in. Now, I work in a space where I see how important it is that people are time poor, and this is important that we can have a chat this way for you to understand a bit more about me, because you don't know what you don't know. So I'm using this opportunity for me to learn more, but also in that process that I'm giving value at the same time. Now, I'm just going to pop over here for a sec, because I know I'm talking a lot. And I wanted to see, oh my goodness. Oh, not the shoulds. Yes. Okay, Chantal. I love that you actually commented that. One of the sayings I have is shoulding all over yourself. We can get caught up in a never-ending to-do list and should a lot. And shoulding puts us in a place of negativity, where I've been talking about today in this live stream about fun. It is important, I believe, we have more fun in what we do. I love to chat. Can you tell? Yeah. Fun for me is always being curious. I'm actually more interested in learning about others than I am about myself, because it gives me an opportunity to grow myself. That's an interesting full circle moment, don't you think? We each have this opportunity to bring more to the table than we realize. And at the same time, when we are holding back, people miss out on that opportunity. That's something that it's taken me a little while to get my head around, because by nature, you'll find me fairly quiet and introverted, because I don't always want to have the light shone on me. The thing that gets missed out by doing that, I now realize, is people do need to know what I know, and do it in such a way that can help them to not just have knowledge for the sake of it, because that's the fire hose, and no, we don't want fire hoses, but do it in a way that means that people are seen and I can connect them with the goals they want to achieve. So today in this live stream, I am really wanting to hone in on sharing with you some of my intentions and the way how I approach budgeting, and do it in a way that you see that it's important for you to be clear on what you want. Because when you're clear on what you want, and like super clear, to the point of visualizing yourself on a holiday, for me, it's being on the beach in Greece. Seriously. When I can visualize that, or visualize what your view of success is, then the information becomes tailored. And that means that you are clearer on where you want to be online. Look, for example, if you are wanting to grow your business and your customers, we know, love hanging out on Facebook, then it's about prioritizing you being more visible on Facebook. If you know your ideal customers are watching how-to tutorials on YouTube, then we prioritize being there and also helping them through how-to tutorials, which I have been doing on my YouTube channel, as an example. If you find that your customers are hanging out on TikTok, then you have to make sure you grow your presence there so they see you there. If you find that they are going places, like particular destinations, if there's particular stores they go into, how can you target them where they go and where they hang out? If they like going to music festivals, hang out there or find ways to hang out near there. If they like being able to go fishing, then find out how you can be a part of their world when they do that. It's a part of their habits. If they like coffee, you find out how to be around more coffee shops. It's not just being online, it's also in person and understanding their daily habits. And when you can look at that and then think of different ways to be in those places, it can have this wonderful crossover of time and energy as well. Now, ooh, coffee. It's an interesting one when I talk coffee. Oh, I'd love to hear the comments. Do you drink coffee or tea? I drink both, but I prefer coffee. But I've learned I have to stick to 2 cups a day maximum. I've gone on a quest to have the perfect coffee, and the coffee for me has, it's come down to me buying my own beans and having my own espresso machine at home, and I have gone out of my way to learn how to make coffee because that has really been a joyful thing, a fun thing, and also saved me money along the way because over time, it's much cheaper for me to make my coffee at home than it is to go to a cafe. But the interesting thing is, the whole process of being able to learn how to make coffee and get really good at it and seeing how I could save money has also made me super intentional about where I drink my coffee, how I drink my coffee, and how I make it. All of those things. So when I have coffee in a cafe, I make a point of it being a meeting with a good friend or a business client and really savoring the coffee and the entire experience. And when I have the coffee at home, I also savor the experience, usually sitting in the backyard with my chickens. They like to come and, sit on my feet and have a pat and a cuddle. Yeah. The whole way of looking at it when I'm looking at my budget of time and money is very much about how do I get the fun and joy out of every single moment? Hmm. Yeah, cafe is a social experience too. I really, you know, the transition of my habits, and this is a valuable outtake from today when I'm talking about time and money budgets. I was in a place where 2018, I was going to a coffee shop every single morning to buy coffee, and I was taking 2 young kids with me. We're talking preschool age. They'd usually whinge and whine and not be too impressed with the fact I'd bought my espresso coffee, so there'd be 2 baby chinos and would buy banana bread at the same time. And it would average around $30 for me to have my coffee. $30 a coffee because I was getting the baby chinos and the banana bread. Usually it was 2 banana breads because I wanted my own and they could share one. Then they decided they didn't want to share, so it'd end up with 3 banana breads some days. $30 for a coffee. And I was doing it every single day. Adds up a lot of money. When I started to get more intentional about my budget and my time and money, I started to see usually that coffee that costs $30 and banana breads and baby chinos all in one. There was usually a few tantrums in the mix as well by the kids and sometimes me. Not proud of that, but that was the fact. When I shifted from the not getting there and getting the the rigidity. This is the thing. When I realized the quality of my time and my waste of money, yes, I was getting the coffee. Technically, that was success. That was one tick, but I was not enjoying the use of my time whatsoever. I'd seen this sign going past the service station saying 7-Eleven coffee, $1. I thought, what's the harm in at least trying the coffee? So I tried it and I was like, it was actually decent. It was a really big deal for me to go and try it. It was almost like, oh, will anyone see me going into a 7-Eleven to buy a $1 coffee? When I realized how good it tasted, then did the calculation. I could still get the kids a hot chocolate each and myself that coffee, and it would cost $3. And then the light bulb moment happened. What if I only spent $3 and I could take the kids to the park? And the cool thing was, when you take them to the park with their hot chocolates, they couldn't have cared less about drinking the hot chocolates, and they just run around the park. So half the time I'd only buy $1 coffee and sit in the park. $1. And because they're running around, they don't care about the banana bread. $1 instead of the $30. That started me on a path to get more intentional about the investment of my time and money. It transformed my coffee relationship and saved me over $5,000 in a year purely by coffee. Now, was it one coffee? No. Doing that once didn't make a difference to my budget, one bit. Doing it consistently over a year, $5,000 back in my pocket. That much closer to be able to go to Greece. And then I started looking for those opportunities everywhere in my personal budget. And that has spilled over into my business. And it means that I'm super protective of my time and focusing on hanging out with people I want to work with and delivering as much value as I can. Cool thing, comment either under this video on YouTube or on Facebook and let me know, would you like my one pager of social media explained as a cup of coffee? I want to know. And will share it with you. It's really inspiring and a part of my coffee obsession and social media obsession too. I have learned and continue to learn. We have social media platforms appearing all the time, and there are many places you can go to hang out and have that social moment in person and online. But not all of them will help you either have a good coffee or have that right connection with the people that you want to do business with to grow your business. So if you're trying to be on every single social media platform, it can be a waste of your time and money. I'm here to help you understand how to be where you want to be, because where you really want to be is not all over social media. You want to be where your ideal customers are to grow your business. I get asked a lot about how best to work with me and which ways do I work. And the interesting thing is, most of my clients up until now, like for 8 years of business, have come through word of mouth and have only ever worked with me one on one. I have been setting up systematically a way in which I can help people through a group setting and make sure that people are taken care of in a way that still means that they get that personalization and ability to connect their ideal goals with their customers and be able to grow their businesses without wasting time or money. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can go to serenaryan.com/ad, and the group itself is Add Profit with Serena.Ryan. I hate people wasting money. I hate it with a passion. And I've learned that there are better ways to help, and that's what I do the way I do it. Oh, dear. I get so much joy out of being able to help people in a targeted way. And that means I have resources available. I have opportunity to ask me questions. Because the cool thing is I've been doing this, well, marketing gig now for over 20 years. My obsession with saving money has kicked in overdrive when I realized my awareness in my personal life with my budgeting was meaning that I wasn't having enough fun. And that realignment has given me renewed enjoyment in my business and the way I help people. I passionately want people to make the most of what they have in business and life. And I'm also always curious to learn about how others are working as well and doing the most that they possibly can with the money they have to achieve what they want. I have a podcast. It's called Adding Up with Serena Dot Ryan. And this podcast is something I started basically under the covers of my bed. And what I want to explain is I really didn't know how to do a podcast myself. So I started watching YouTube videos and trying to figure out the best way to do it without spending any money at the time. And the podcast itself was only ever started from a point of view that I was so deeply embarrassed about my lack of awareness of budgeting and money. And I was starting to do better with what I had. I didn't want anyone else to feel as I was feeling at that point in time. That shame, that embarrassment, awkwardness around money. So I started Adding Up with Serena Dot Ryan, the podcast. And I did it sitting under my doona cover on my bed with my laptop and recorded it. The audio was pretty ordinary. It was messy, but I was determined that if it just helped one person, it was worth recording. I wanted to document my journey with getting better with money, my personal finances. I'm now at episode 98 of that podcast. And in the 98 episodes, I've gone from 7-Eleven coffee and saving on swapping it out with cafe quality coffee every single day and doing better with my groceries. Do you know, for over a year, I fed my family of 4 on $100 a week grocery budget. And that also saved me thousands. Thousands that got paid onto my debt. Because that's another thing, right? We can all go out there and talk about earning money and getting more money in the door, and we can grow businesses with more money. But without profit and the ability to not live using up all our income, and it happens in personal life and in business, we have to keep churning. We have to keep going. We have to keep going at a fast pace. And the podcast has taken me through those first tentative steps of absolutely struggling to get a handle on my money, to paying off three credit cards that were maxed out, and paying down a consolidated debt loan that was hanging over my head because I had spent more than 20 years having credit cards, and when they were maxed out, putting them in consolidated debt loans and then ended up getting another credit card. Yet all the while I'm doing that, was still working in successful jobs, earning decent money, and continuing to support others. But I was separating me, the person, and my personal budgeting from business knowledge and business understanding. And 2023 is about fun and bringing my whole self in. So, what you get from me is that I bring together me, Serena Dot Ryan, and my budgeting understanding in my personal life and all that's associated with the transformation of going and being afraid of talking about money and budgeting to that expertise of working in marketing for more than 20 years. The two come together because I see the importance of bringing our whole selves into whatever we do and being able to serve and support others. I love the fact that I started my online membership at Serena Dot Ryan. I started that October last year, and it has steadily been growing. And I love the fact that, okay, it's not for everyone, but it is for those who don't have the budget or the resources yet to have their own marketing manager. I am their outsourced marketing manager. And then I give them the resources for them to educate themselves to make informed decisions with the marketing tools available to them. I've got an 8-module course within the membership that they can do and learn the fundamentals of understanding search engine optimization and taking search engine optimization and understanding the value of integrating that within their social media. When you're able to bring all those things together, the Ad Profit with Serena Dot Ryan membership is about me being your outsourced marketing manager and you as the business owner being able to have the knowledge to make the informed decisions so you don't waste your time and money online. I love it. And there was something beautiful I got to see yesterday by Michael Maidens. He's an entrepreneur. You'll find him on Instagram. And he said that until you fall in love with your offer, no one else will. And for so long, I'd been afraid of being able to put it out there openly that this is who I am and this is what I bring to the table. I started to see how, from his words, I was hiding myself and the offer. And shout out to Michael. Thank you for the epiphany. I'm here to share as much as I can in the way I can to help and serve people to not feel the shame of talking money, to protect your time and your money. And when you do both those things, there becomes a shift in your business because you become intentional about every decision you make to prioritize how you will spend the 24 hours in each day. And that means that your productivity will get a boost. When you're positive about those things, you have this opportunity to do better. And that means the business actually gains benefit. And I found that to be incredible. And I'm even excited as I say that out loud now. Now, don't forget, if you're on Facebook, it's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for your time and your energy to be here. Comment below the Facebook video with any questions or comments. If you want to get that copy of my one-pager with social media as a cup of coffee, comment as well. I'll share it with you over Messenger. If you want to join the chat live and ask me a question right here, right now, jump on over to YouTube. Here live, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and subscribers are the ones who can chat. Now, what's important to know, in case you're wondering why I have it set up that way on YouTube, is that that protects the chat. It becomes a safe place to chat and ask your questions. and I can help you there. And the wonderful Chantel, live stream producer, who is helping me out there as well, is awesome and friendly. And if you want to learn more about Chantel, don't hesitate to go back and watch last month's live stream where she's been sharing her amazing experience about live streaming. Live streaming is something that I'm very intentional about doing more of. It gives me the opportunity to hang out, have fun, and share my skills. And, well, I like this kind of thing, right? Being able to understand how tech can help us be closer, no matter where we are in the world, is part of my core values as well. And yeah, if I hadn't already said so, Chantel's an awesome person to hang out with too, so that actually helps. Now, what I'm learning is, yeah, Chantel, I've only had 1 cup of coffee today. Um, I have a maximum of 2 a day. I have learned the hard way, if you have lots of coffee in a day, you tip over to the edge of being a little bit too jittery, and I wanna keep coffee in that space of enjoyment. And the space of enjoyment, my happy place, is 2 coffees a day in the morning, and then I look forward to it again the next day, and that's more than enough. I become really intentional about where that coffee comes from and how it's made, and that in itself becomes a part of the whole experience. I would say that is something to take out of today's live stream as well. Be intentional about where you wanna be, and it also means you start to see things you wouldn't normally see. Start to observe everything around you. My obsession with coffee has come down to where my beans come from, what milk I'm using, what temperature is the milk going to be, how much milk I'll use. Will I have milk in there today? Last Monday, I had an affogato, and yes, I can say it was last Monday. I'm lucky to have an affogato maybe once every 90 days. So it's a significant thing for me. And no, I don't add alcohol to it, even though I have also noticed that people do add it in. For me, it's about the right mix of coffee, water, and milk of some description. And I've gone through and tried it in so many different ways as well. Macchiato is probably my favorite way of having coffee. When we start to understand by trying things out, I wouldn't have known which way I liked my coffee if I didn't try it all the different ways. That is where this is important too. Live streams like this give you an opportunity for you to understand how I work. And if you've seen a previous live stream, amazing. If you haven't yet seen it, I encourage you to watch several of these. This YouTube channel is slowly building with a variety of videos on it to help you understand how I work and how I help. That means if you connect with me, incredible, get in contact and find other ways to work together. If you find, okay, well, I don't quite get what she's doing, that is okay. That is also why I have other recommended YouTube channels on my YouTube channel for you to go and check out. I have Chantel Hills there, I have Justin Brown there, and I have Social Media Examiner there as well, to name a few. Those of you who are my clients who do tune into these videos, I know I also work with Shopify and have Shopify recommendations in this channel as well. Okay, so I am really grateful for your time today. If you have any questions, this is your last opportunity in the live stream to ask them in real time. If not, don't hesitate to put them under the video. The channel is monitored regularly, so any comments will always be responded to. I'm here to help and help you see that the numbers matter in your business to tell the story. And the more you can spend time being clear on what story you want to be your success story, then it makes it so much easier. If you also would like to know what the questions are I ask everyone before they work with me, also comment below this video. I have a set of questions that I give to everyone before I have a chat. And the main reason I do this is to exactly know what your ideal is that you want to achieve, so that I can actually see what it is, what success looks like to you. If I know what success looks like to you, I can then help guide you. My interest is not that everyone is my client. My interest is that you get the solutions you're after. So I systematically work through understanding what it is you want, and then I can direct you to either what my services are or send you to other people I know and admire and are amazing, and they can work with you. When we all succeed, I believe we all do better. Have an awesome month. I would love to hear from you. So don't hesitate. Comment below the videos. If you're looking for more information on personal budgeting understanding, check out the other videos available on the Serena Dot Ryan channel. If you're looking for business understanding and how I can help, I've got some amazing resources. Start with looking through the other videos in the live stream tab, because I've done some that are particularly about understanding what it is you can do to save time and money online and grow your business at the same time. Have an awesome time no matter where you are, and we'll see you again soon.